I don't care about I don't want number one spots. It's just like, 4 or 5 weeks ago, there was another guy that was not in the number one spot according to the entire world. And then next week, 2 weeks from now, when somebody else does it, all these discussions about, like I said, number ones and classics. And I don't care. I just want to make good music, and I just want you to enjoy it. And as long as we have that relationship for the duration of this career, I'm good. And maybe that's why people say I'm there, because I disconnect from it. My uncle always told me something early in my life which stuck with me, which is that while you're on the journey, you have to disconnect from the end goal. Because if you're just focused on some end goal, then you might get there, but it'll be hard to progress past that, because you're so focused on that one destination that it's like, you maybe forget everything in between, and maybe you could have done more in between. He always told me, like, just be here right now, live right now, and do the best you can right now. Don't worry about what that end goal is. It's great to have goals, it's great to have dreams, but it's just like you get too attached to it, and sometimes it could be a self-destructive thing. So, I just kind of try and progress as much as I can.
I think less than the dollar value, it's just more about the idea of growth and business mindset too. 25 million at the time seemed crazy to me, but when you start becoming a headlining touring act and brands want to get involved with you and you can go do private events and whatnot, it's you're capable of making it. And now I want to for sure obviously keep touring, keep making music, but now I see that there's other ways, as far as this global ambassador thing, as far as maybe starting. I want to invent something. I want to start a company. I want to do something that has maybe nothing to do with music. I made a commitment very early on to just be myself, and what really bothers me the most is the fact that, sometimes I feel like I don't get enough credit, or I'm not making a big enough impact because I'm not enough of a loose cannon, in situations like this where we're doing a one-on-one interview, or, that people just want me to go off more and lose my composure, and then that way, I guess maybe I would be like cooler, make more headlines or be more iconic, but that's not me. I'm a naturally poised individual. I don't want to just come out, making mistakes and having to be like, oh,
never want to be always right, because then I can't grow, I can't learn. So I have no desire to be always right. I need mistakes, Right. And luckily enough, and knock on this wooden piano here, that my mistakes are never crucial enough for me to be like, man, they're always great learning experiences.
I always want to outdo myself. I always want to outdo everybody else around me. I'm a very competitive person. I'm just quiet about it. I'm not really out there like talking about who I want to outdo. I'd rather just go and outdo it, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to just sitting back and being like, oh, I don't need to tell you who I'm better than or who I'm trying to be better than. I just want to put my music out, and then you tell me who's better than you know what I'm saying? I leave it up to the people, and as far as like how do I get better, I push myself really hard. I have great opinions in the studio, like me, myself, Hush, we all sit in the studio and me, myself, Hush, that makes no sense. Me, 40 and Hush, I need that drink whenever you guys are ready. So yeah, we all sit in the studio and try not to sacrifice any bar. I'll sit there on the last two lines of a verse for 3-4 days if I need to, just to figure out how to end it. I want it to be cohesive. I always want the beginning of a verse to be strong. I always want the end to be strong. And I really, really, really spend a lot of time on bars, man. Luckily for me, melodies come extremely easy, knock on wood, but they do. I that is something that naturally, I just get in there and it starts flowing, and by 40 minutes in, an hour in, I have pretty much the direction I'm going in. But when it comes to raps, I spend a lot of time on it, man. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, that's all off the top, baby, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I spend a lot of time.
I think that I've sacrificed so much for it already and dedicated so much of my time that I have to push it as far as I possibly can, because I've given up a lot of years.
A lot of artists just have MySpace and just have, a couple songs and don't have a website, don't have marketing, don't have anything. And then they get disappointed when they only sell like 70 records, and it's like, you gotta understand that this is about marketing. Like, this whole thing is about marketing. It's about your image. It's about your story. You got to be appealing to people. And if you're going to release a record in Canada, you have to do something that nobody else has done, or else there's no point. That's how I see it.